Okay, so we're creating a 7-section scale that's going to be skin tone. I'm going to use my ruler and go from the first line to 7. And then I'm not going to move my ruler, and I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom, first line to 7. Okay, I haven't moved my ruler. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I make little hash marks. Right, and now I'm going to go straight up and down vertical every inch. Alright, so that gives me 7 boxes. This is my middle box, where I'm going to start with a pure color. Okay, so now I'm going to look at my color wheel, and I'm going to find a shade that looks somewhat like my skin tone. It might be darker than my skin tone, it might be lighter than my skin tone, but I'm going to pick a brown that looks kind of right. Okay. So that's kind of up to you what you think. This yellow-green with red-violet looks pretty good to me. This orange with blue looks pretty good. Maybe that one. Okay, so I'm just using this for reference. I'm going to do orange and blue mixture. Okay, so to make orange, I need yellow and red. And blue, I just can use straight from the tube. That looks like a nice orange. I'm going to put blue on the side here. I control how much I put in. The blue is pretty intense. Y'all saw that. You don't need a lot. Take some blue, start mixing it in. Till I get a brown that kind of looks good. Okay, and then I'm going to put that brown in the middle, okay, where I put my arrow, that middle section. That this might be the right tone of brown for my skin. Even if it's too dark or too light, we're going to add black and white to make it lighter and darker in our other squares. Okay. I'm rinsing my brush now. I've got a nice brown in the middle there. Okay. Towards this way, I'm going to make a shade, and towards this way, I'm going to make a tint. Be right back. Yeah. Okay, so I've got black and white. That's a lot. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull out some of my brown. I don't want to put black directly onto the brown because I'm going to need to make it lighter too. Okay, so I've pulled out some of my brown. Now I'm going to get a drop of black and mix it in. I don't see enough change. I'm going to get some more black and mix it in. So if you have a darker skin tone, this might be good for you. Just got a little bit darker by adding a little bit of black to it. It changed just slightly darker. Okay, I'm going to add a little more black. So I'll get another scoop of black, add it in to the brown that I set aside. A little more. And do the next square. So I did blue and orange. You might have a different color that was closer to your skin on the scale that you want to mix. You can figure out what you use to make it by looking at the two pie pieces it was composed of, right? Because we went straight across, mixing complements. Okay, and then we're going to add a little more black to it. And even if your skin isn't this color, and like the shadowed parts, you know, where the shadows are cast, it might be closer to this color, it might be darker. Okay, so it gradually gets darker. You see that? Now I'm going to work the other way. So I'm going to rinse my brush out. And I'm going to start adding more and more white to it. There's lighter parts on your skin or highlights where the light hits it. It gets lighter. A little bit of white. I'm going to pull some of this brown out. Okay, and I'm going to get a little bit of white and mix it in. A little more white for the next one. Those of you who picked Alex Katz as your inspiration are going to need to get your skin tone just right and a nice flat application of the paint, but he also has shadows and stuff, so you'll need at least 2 tones. There you go. Okay, so just to review, I started in the middle with a set of complements. I used blue and orange. I gradually added more and more black to get a shade and more white to get a tint. This will all need to be turned in for a green.